Welcome to the We Leaders podcast, where leaders share how to leave a legacy that makes history. I'm your host, Alana Fulvio. As a 13-time world record-holding skydiver and Olympic development athlete, psychic intuitive, and former Silicon Valley in-house talent advisor for some of the most legendary leaders and successful companies in history, there is a new bar being set for leadership. They're called We Leaders. What this means for you on this show, We Leaders will show up for you and bring their unapologetic truth, most successful strategies and mindsets so you can level up. We share from our shoes so you can walk in them. Here, the only rules are authenticity, respect, and being in service of every human having the lives they want. Join the movement. Welcome to the We Leaders podcast. Now let's go make history. I'm Alana Fulvio. I am so ecstatic today to have my friend David Meltzer. You're not going to want to miss this. I'm going to want to stay until the end, actually, because he has so many incredible shares, not just being the co-founder of Sports One Marketing, but he actually not only is 3 times best-selling author, but his journey of not only how he got to profitability financially in his 20s and then did it again later in life, but his profitability as a human being and how he's doing that for millions outside of himself. So it's really incredible what he's doing. One of his mottos, and he'll share more about, is make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. I second that notion, and I'm so happy for him to be here. Watch this, enjoy it, watch it again. Thank you so much, David, for being here, and I can't wait for them to hear what you have to share.
Oh, this is right up my alley. So I was so excited to have the opportunity to share exactly what I believe in. And it's that blend of profitability with faith and happiness. And so how those are utilized in this world is an incredible opportunity to share with my mission to empower people to be happy.
Amazing. Happiness. I love it. Let's do that. All right, great. So on that end, I loved your story, but you share from wherever you want to. Share that story and through that lens of the profitable leader and growth and culture and whatnot, whatever works for you.
Sure. So I think, understanding my relationship to money, because this is about being a profitable leader, is really important to share, and the lessons that are along that journey for people so that they don't have to pay the dummy tax that I've paid in my life. And I've paid a lot of dummy tax. In fact, people ask me, what do you attribute a lot of your success to? And I'm like, all the stupid things I've done, because I truly believe that I have formulated the ability to find light, love, and lessons in everything. I think the secrets to happiness is knowing that we don't love everything naturally, but if we can have the capability of finding the light, the love, and the lessons, in other words, learning to love the percentage of whatever activity we're participating in, from taking out the trash to communicating with the intimate people that we have around us, to playing sports, to making money, going to work, whatever it may be, if we can learn to find the light, the love, and the lessons and the percentage of those things, we can have an aggregate of love. We can have an aggregate of fun, and those things make room for the profit if that's what we want. So my relationship to money started very early. My dad left when I was 5. We had 6 kids, a single mom. And so my mom worked 2 jobs, packed my dinner in a paper bag. She was a 2nd grade teacher, and then filled up turnstiles at convenience stores with greeting cards. So we could eat. I still get choked up because my mom.
I just had a moment too.
I know. Well, she was,
wow.
By example, right? My mom never told me what to do. She just showed me what she did and allowed me to evaluate what was right. And so I'll get over this. I'm a mama boy. I'm a 52-year-old mama boy.
No, you're a heart guy. I mean,
yeah.
Your mom, that's amazing.
It is what it is. I wanted to be rich, but only because I wanted to buy my mom a house and a car. I was so poor, but so happy. And so when I caught my mom stressed about money, crying because the car broke down, or she was worried couldn't afford us to eat or go to school or summer camp or whatever it was, I would get pissed, right? I'm like, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to buy my mom a house and a car. Now, meanwhile, my mom's philosophy was completely different, right? My mom's philosophy was the fetus wasn't fully developed till after graduate school. Money does not buy love or happiness. You need, literally, she raised us with two real things that I think are great for parenting. One is she woke us all up at 5 a.m. So we never had enough energy to get in trouble, especially on the weekends. And then two, my mom was a black belt in the martial arts. And so I was terrified of her. She's a 3rd-degree black belt in the martial art of Jewish guilt. And so, guilting us to death was her magic superpower.
Love her.
And I still is afraid of her for that reason. I'm always afraid. But so my relationship was money, bought happiness and love. And when I was 9 months out of law school, through a variety of lessons, I ended up taking a job in sales. Because I was motivated by money. And I get a job selling legal research online. My mom, by the way, had told me that I needed to be a real lawyer. I had graduated, very well to be an oil and gas litigator from Tulane University. I got a 6-figure job out of law school when nobody did. And so when my mom told me, I'm a fool because I should be a real lawyer and that the internet was a fad and that, I'm going to be really sorry for not being a real lawyer, I actually took the bar just to show my mom that just in case I sucked at this, that I could be a real lawyer. Yeah. Anyway, 9 months out of law school, I was a millionaire. And I bought my mom a house and a car, and I paid off my law loans in 9 months. Wow. And it just reaffirmed everything I believed at the age, of 24. I was money buys love and happiness. And I got engaged to a girl that was rich because I thought, that was going to be the secret. And then when I made my own money, I ended up breaking it off because now everything. Then I went to the Silicon Valley and I learned how to raise money for charity and for business, millions of dollars, over $150 million I raised. And but the thing is, money, because it bought happiness and love, it was always trading. So if I gave money to a charity, which I gave a lot, I was very benevolent, but it was always trading. I wanted respect, or I wanted recognition or acknowledgement. Everything if I bought, gave my brother a down payment for a house, it came with attachments. Buy my brother a car, it came with attachments. I bought my mom all kinds of stuff, and I wanted to be the favorite child. In my mind, everything I did, including when I got married, I married my dream girl, 4th grade girl that I met when I moved to California. And in 6th grade camp, my best friend asked her to go study for me. And she said, no, tell him to ask me himself. And then I threw an egg at her. So she hated me and hated me in high school, stayed away from me. I adored her always. But, I got married when I was 30 and in my mind, I thought, the reason she likes me now must be why? Because I have money, right? And she proved me wrong, by the way. But everything in my life was this journey. And then 3 things happened to change my relationship to money, to this profitable leader. I was always a leader, but I was a leader, in the wrong way, because what happened was I grew up in a world of not enough. And so money was so important. There was never enough. And I was jealous of all the kids that had rich dads and moms and houses and cars and beautiful things. And I felt like they thought they were better than me. Yeah. And so I had to prove by making more money, they weren't better than me. Then I lived in this world of just enough, right? I was living in just enough for me, very positive. Everything was just enough for me. I was buying tons of things I didn't need to impress people I didn't even like. Yeah. And then 3 things happened in my life. The first was at 30, I got married to my dream girl and I built this beautiful home. And now my father, who left when I was 5, my father left at 5 and he was my superhero. Dad was good looking, smart, rich. He married a girl closer to my age than his. He drove a convertible Cadillac, but what I didn't realize at 5, 6, and 7, when I was telling my mom from our country squire station wagon in paper bag dinners, why can't you be more like dad? What I didn't realize in the 70s is my dad was a deadbeat dad, right? He wasn't giving child support, that the law, and he wasn't a good dad at the time. And he had a lot of things going on it. But at 10, my dad blew it because my dad forgot my birthday at 10 years old. He was my hero. And not only did it crush me because he forgot my birthday, but when I asked him, how could you forget my birthday? He lied to me. And he said, I didn't forget your birthday. He said, I don't believe in birthdays. And it crushed me because at that time, to realize your dad is a liar, he's a cheater, a manipulator, and it was the first time my mom ever laid into my dad to me, right? She always protected my dad, right? She was a humble servant, my mom. She was a true leader. And she would never say anything attacking thoughts, even though he was torturing her. He was abusive emotionally and speech wise,
Yeah.
just wasn't a good person to her, cheated on her, all these different things.
Yeah.
And, at 10, so now in my mind, hero to zero. But at 30 years old, my dad sent me a birthday present. And he sent me a birthday present and I got it, and it was a beautiful sport coat. And when I put it on, I started to cry. And my wife's like, I'm a crybaby anyway. she's like, why are you crying now?
No.
You big wimp.
Why are you crying again?
Exactly. And I said, because it fits me. That means my dad actually called somebody like you or my mom to figure out what size I wear. And I go, this is the first gift I got in 20 years. I go, I've wanted a relationship with my father. Hopefully, like, he's getting it now. He's sending me this jacket. I think he gets it. So I'm trying it on. I look inside, and he had torn out all the pockets and the lining in the jacket. And I got really pissed. I called him immediately. I'm like, Dad, why are you torturing me? He goes, what are you talking about? I go, you sent me a first birthday present in 20 years and you ripped it up. I can't even wear it. Why are you torturing me? He said, well, because it's not for wearing. So why? What do you mean it's not for wearing? He said, David, it's to hang in your closet and look at every day, because eventually I want you buried in that jacket. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, you can't take anything with you when you're gone. He said, you're just like me, David. Money doesn't buy you love and happiness. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made. I didn't get it. I was saying that he didn't get it. I didn't get it.
He still didn't get it.
I'm like, dude, I was 30 years old. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm nothing like you. You're a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, a back-end seller. I'm nothing like you. I give money to charity. I'm married. I love my wife. All these things about me. And he said, David, please learn this lesson. Just hang the jacket up. I said, F you, and I hung up.
Yeah.
6 years later, I went golfing. I was running at that time. At 30, I was CEO of the first smartphone division, the very first smartphone in the world, a Windows CE device, multi-millionaire. I had everything I ever wanted. Very ego-driven, arrogant, obviously, not getting what people were, but I will tell you, my dad, that was the first time anyone in over a decade had stood up to me, right? Everyone else had always sucked up to me and told me exactly what I wanted to hear. He was the first person to not tell me what I wanted to hear, but tell me the truth. The second person is my best friend, Rob, who asked my wife to go steady for me, sixth grade camp. So I take Rob golfing. At this time, I'm running the most notable sports agency in the world, a place called Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment. Most people know Lee from the movie Jerry Maguire, that based the movie off of him. I had this dream job, right? I'm surrounded by celebrities, athletes, entertainers. I'm going to the Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, the Masters, Kentucky Derby. My life is amazing. I'm a multimillionaire. And I, have this job. I asked my best friend, we're golfing. I was like, Robbie, why don't you hang out with me anymore? And he said, I'll tell you. He said, I don't like who you hang out with, and I don't like what you guys are doing. And I looked at him, I'm like, come on, man. I'm not doing what those guys are doing. He said, David, you can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. Second person to tell me the truth.
Wow, beautiful.
Once again, still choking up.
Yeah.
Because it woke me up, because it was for now, 6 years later, it was starting to sink in. I'm moving in the wrong direction. I'm buying stuff, doing stuff, thinking stuff with all the wrong reasons. I become someone new. 2 weeks later, I go to the Grammy Awards, and I go with a rapper named Little John. And I lied to my wife. I told her I was going to a business meeting. We had 3 beautiful girls at the time. She didn't want me to go out and spend the night partying. And so I made up a story. I changed in the car. I remember I came home drunk and high, 5:30 in the morning, to my beautiful home. And there's my beautiful wife. And she looked at me, and she was the third person to tell me the truth. And this time it sunk in. She said, David, I'm not happy. And you better take stock in who you were and what you want to become, because I'm leaving. I'm not happy, and you're going to end up dead. Once again, I wasn't ready to hear it. So I got mad at her. I said, I can't believe you're saying this to me. You should be ashamed of yourself. Everything I've given you, right? All money. Once again, my relationship with money. I have bought your love and happiness. What are you talking about? Look
Yeah.
at our home. Look at our cars. Look at our boats and motorhomes and where we travel and your kids and your living nanny. Who do you think you're talking to,
Yeah.
right? This is who I was. I went to my room, woke up in the morning, even madder. And I'm thinking, I'm going to take all my money from her. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my kids from her. I'm going to punish her because I deserve this respect. Who does she think she is? I remember specifically in my head, like, F her. Are you kidding me? Does she know who I am? Right.
Yeah.
And then I looked over in the closet, right? And there's that jacket. I stand in my closet right now. I remember looking over going, oh shit, everything I hate about my father, everything he has done, that's who I am. I am a liar, a cheater, manipulator, back-end seller, overseller, and I better change. And so that jacket saved my life because I literally sat down, learned these values of a profitable leader. One, gratitude. I lost my gratitude. I forgot to find the light, the love, and the lessons and everything. I forgot that my past is beautiful, my present's better, my future is brighter no matter what. And I have to be grateful. I live an extraordinary life and I've taken it for granted. Two, forgiveness.
Yeah.
And I do not have to forgive anyone. I don't owe anyone. I don't deserve, they don't deserve my forgiveness. I deserve my forgiveness so I can give it to others.
Yeah.
And so I had not been living a forgiving life. Three, accountability. Man, I was living in blame, shame, and justification below the line. And I had to be accountable for what I did to attract everything in my life and what I was supposed to learn from it. And then finally, what I called effective communication, which is really inspiration. I'd forgotten that I'm always connected to the greatest light of love and lessons and power that ever existed. And it walks with me or within me at all times. And my job was to appreciate it, not only appreciate it with thanks, but give value to it. And then I'm also connected to everything and everyone and things. I don't have to live in a world of just enough or not enough. I can live in a world of more than enough, a world where everything comes through me for others and everything comes through me. There's more than enough of everything for everyone, and that I could make room for what I wanted by giving everything, my whole life, away to others with these values.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about my life as a profitable leader is that 2 years after I had this transition, right, this transformation in my life, 2 years after I had it, I lost everything. So in 2008, I was prepared in 2008 to lose everything. It was not the low point. That wasn't the bottom. The bottom was when my wife woke me up and told me who I was and who I better become, or I was not going to be around. And for me, 2020 now is even easier than 2008. I lost over $100 million. Talk about a profitable leader in 2008. And through these philosophies of utilizing my values, taking inventory every day to be of service and of value and to ask for help, the strongest form of radical humility, I've transformed my entire life into one of an abundant life, to be of service, with my main mission being to empower over 1 billion people to be happy, learning what I've learned through my journey.
Yeah. I'm actually very speechless because I went on that roller coaster ride with you, which was absolutely magical. And I had to hold back my own tears for that time. One, your mom is amazing. Two, I love the message that your dad gave you. And three, what you just shared is what I had a feeling you were going to share, was that money, there's money, but then profitability is really what there is inside and what you give outward, right? The gratitude and the life lessons and light, right? And feeling profitable inside and watching others be profitable. And it doesn't have to mean money. It means life. It means love. It means connection. It means, how do you like with your wife? I love that you had the 3 wake-up calls, that because I think probably people watching can look to see maybe where they have had potential wake-up calls but haven't looked at them, because I know I've had people say things to me, I'm like, no, and I dodge it, and actually it's probably the wake-up call of, hey, really, this is not truly your truth. as well as this is not really the way. Like the way is to be in service of. And one thing that you had mentioned prior was, and not on this call, but every Friday, you do a workshop. Explain that, because it's
Yeah,
brilliant, and it's open to anybody, and your mission of touching everybody. I say everybody because you say a million.
a
I mean,
billion,
a
over a
billion.
billion, or yeah.
Yeah, I
Of
have no doubt.
one eighth the earth, one eighth the earth. So first, my relationship to money, before I get into the training, it's interesting because people cannot reconcile money with faith, with the feelings that you're talking about, this blend of profitability. Money doesn't buy love or happiness. So my relationship now is that money's super important
Yeah,
because it allows me to shop. And what it allows me to shop for is what's important in life. If I shop for the right things, I'm going to be happy or profitable.
right,
And if I shop for the wrong things, I'm going to be poor and unprofitable. And
right.
so I shop for the right things. I build community centers in Africa. I give scholarships to college. I work in as a chief chancellor of Junior Achievement University. All I give to those most relative to me, all the way through at a percentage from my state to my country to the world.
Yeah.
All of that is shopping for the right things, but I couldn't be poor enough to make anyone rich. My
Mhm.
philosophy is, let me help you become rich to make other people rich.
Yeah.
Right? You can be rich enough to make someone else rich. I promise you, but you can't be poor enough to make anyone rich. It's
Right.
impossible. So what I do and have for over 20 years now is I give Friday trainings, workshops with Q&A, free. I never sell anyone. In fact, my favorite part of training for new people that come, and they recorded, they're replayed on my podcast, The Playbook, all over. Thousands and thousands of people come and watch. Live, it's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. But my favorite part is at the end, because people are so conditioned. Like you asked me, I'm going to give my free book, right? And you're like, does that include shipping? Because so many people are like, where's the hook, right? Yeah, here's my free book, but it's $9.99 to ship a book
Yeah.
that's $2, right? That's never. So I love the fact that my favorite book when I was a kid was a book called The Monster at the End of the Book. And it's a Sesame Street book. And
Mm.
it's Grover. And he says, please don't turn the page. There's a monster at the end of the
Yeah.
book. And then you turn it and the bricks have fallen. Then you turn it, the wood has fallen, right? And then at the end of the book, he's looking around. He's like, it's just me, lovable, cuddly Grover. Oh my God, I'm the monster at the end of the book.
Yeah.
My training is made. People at the end, they're waiting for some ask. The only ask you're going to get is invite more people to my training to help me empower
Yeah.
1,000 people like you to empower 1,000 people to empower 1,000 people. 1,000 people times 1,000's a million times 1,000's a billion. When
Yeah.
I came up with this idea to empower over 1 billion people laugh at me, scoff at me, made fun of me, right? They always
Really.
will. And then they applaud you, right? This has happened my whole life, whether it was
Mm.
through sports, whether it was through school, whether it was through wanting money, whatever it was, being in the internet, everything I did, being a sports agent, all the things I dreamed of, my own TV show, my own movies, my own podcast, all the things I do every single time I start speaking around the world, writing books. Everybody, and I want to tell that because as a profitable leader, you can't vote for what other people want for you. You're going to be ordinary. Nobody ever wants anything extraordinary, things that haven't been done, because their mind doesn't work that way. They can only create things that haven't been done for themselves.
Mm.
Van Gogh can only dream and imagine paintings that he could paint.
Right.
He's not going to imagine paintings for other people to paint.
Right.
That's true for you as well. So everybody come, listen, watch, whatever, to my free trainings on Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Invite your friends, family, and associates. We'll post up. I have a text number you can have, an email you can have, whatever it is. But my main mission in life is to create a collective consciousness of profitable leaders. A collective consciousness. Happiness is the greatest virus of all time. It actually can be literally, it's so viral that just by witnessing it, you can catch happiness. You're a smile person. When you smile like that, everybody else is smiling that's watching it,
Yeah.
because it's infectious. It also strengthens every single part of your mind, body, and soul, including your immune system. So it's actually the reverse disease. It's the strongest virus that strengthens you, not weakens you.
True. So true. And you can feel it. You can feel, like when you give the love. I play what I call the stranger game. I'll go out. I love meeting strangers as well. That's one of my favorite things in the world. But I'll go around and I'll say, okay, today is all about strangers. I'm going to smile and say hi to strangers, and what you feel. And I think there's a lot of people, like with what you said, maybe fearful to have that connection with people they don't know, or like your your workshop or what you do on Fridays, you don't know the majority of the people, and that's okay. And it doesn't, there's nothing in between that. And that's, I think, one reason why I also wanted you on here was that you're in service of, actually you found how to be in service of yourself. So now you're teaching people how to be in service of self so that they also can impact others. And the others is profitability isn't like the dollar bill. It's actually the holistic picture of it, which I think is beautiful, because like you said, if we have all the money in the world and we're not smiling and we're not happy within, then it's really not profitable. It's not a profitability. So yeah, I love that you do that trainings. I will be there for sure. I will bring all of my all of my people, because I, even though I'm so connected to what you're talking about, I can always elevate, because we're, none of us are the same, right? And so I can always learn something from you, whether it be this much, whether it be this much. I think that's something as a leader as well. By the way, I think there's one thing that I'm on a mission on too with people watching is, if you're considering that you're a leader, or you feel like it, you are. Like David and I know, like whatever is inside you, it's there. Like he's talking about, be your truth, be your magic. You are a leader. Do whatever. He's gotten a lot of "Are you crazies?" I've gotten a ton of "Are you crazies?" Just go back to do data, and I stick to it because I agree with him. Like love is all, and connection, and be true, and stay true to your profitability. I love your story through it, and I honor you for actually accepting what the messages were and taking that and flipping it. And you created a ton of profitability for yourself throughout your life. And then you flipped it, and now you're still creating a ton of profitability for yourself, but a ton of profitability for others. And as I say, I think we're here as a we culture, like we're together in this. So yeah, I think it's brilliant. And I love that you're doing that on Friday selflessly without a pitch at the end. And I agree with that. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, it all comes naturally as you make room for what you want through you for others. The universe responds because it's expanding universe. And in fact, I tell people all the time, disruption in an expanding universe allows for good things to happen. If it was a closed environment, like a automobile engine, when there's disruption, it shuts down.
Yeah.
In an expansive universe, disruption allows us to be pushed to even more greater acceleration and growth. And I truly believe part of the problem why people can't put into construct this idea of just being happy is that their senses, their eyes, their nose, their ears, their mouth, their touch, and their memories are not that smart. And so we
Mhm.
don't see the acceleration and growth happening. And so we quit. And so like this Friday, I'm going to talk about that, why people quit.
Mm.
And it's really more because of their conscious perceptions. They're not seeing the growth. So, the analogy I use is like a little kid. If you have children and you're with them, you never see them grow until you have to go buy them a pair of tennis shoes. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's been 3 weeks and you have a whole new size. And
Yeah.
like people that see them, the grandparents come over like, oh my God, he's getting so big. And you're like, not really. That's what happens in life. We don't
Yeah.
see ourselves growing.
True.
We don't see ourselves growing. And so if I can raise the awareness and
Mm.
elevate the vibration and the frequency to the fact that we're all expanding, growing, and accelerating and pushing ourselves to something greater and better, a better situation, or making our situation better, even in these times of
Oh
uncertainty,
yeah.
you're going to be happy simply by finding the light, the love, and the lessons in everything that you do,
Yeah.
including everyone that you meet, which is why, Alana, it's so important to smile at everyone and play your stranger game,
Yeah.
because I know, because I play that and my wife makes fun of me when I do walks and stuff. She's like, did you know that guy? I'm like, no. She's like, and why'd you wave and smile? I'm like, because I know it made him feel good. He didn't look like it. I said, you don't know how he feels.
Yeah.
You don't know how
Yeah.
he feels. I know one thing, by smiling and waving someone, it'll never hurt them.
Oh, never.
It'll only help them. Whatever incremental amount that I can't perceive did help them, I know it does. I just can't blame myself that my senses and my memory are bad, that I don't know and have an awareness to how that helped them. But I know the universe and I know happiness. And
Yeah.
no way is my smiling and waving at someone ever doing anything but helping them.
Right. And I visualized it, and the ripple effect. You never know the ripple effect, right? As you smile at some stranger, he might not smile back, but actually inside he smiles. And then he goes and smiles to someone. I mean, and the ripple effect, imagine the ripple effect, or if we don't, right? Because I think there's a lot of leaders or budding leaders in life, or humans in life, who, whether they're in business or not, choose to stay very inward. And I think the magic is together. Like you're bringing this community together on a Friday. You do that with your speaking. You do that with your work. You do that with one question I had, and I know we're going to wrap it up soon, is when there's, let's talk about, which is in terms of business, and because you could become a millionaire very fast if that tipping point of I'm working for money, I mean, not working for money, but I'm trying to make money, and I'm still living my passion. That tipping point of how to really tip that over to ensure that you make the money but still live your passion. Is there like that secret sauce?
Yeah, I have a 5-step thing, and then we will finish it up because
Yeah.
these are really important 5 things. One, taking inventory of my values and
Mhm.
allowing myself to be a hypocrite. What does that mean? I expect change and acceleration. I expect people to say, "Hey, that's not what you said 10 years ago."
Mm.
Yeah, right, because I'm smarter now. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I'm proud of it. Yes, my values have changed. I am proud of it. I'm a hypocrite, and I know my values have changed because I take my shoe size every day by taking inventory of my values. The
Yeah.
second thing, I've learned radical humility, meaning
Mm.
I've learned to ask people how I could be of service or value, which takes humility. But even more radical humility is being able to ask everyone, like you, Alana, do you know anybody who can help me? I do
Yeah.
trainings every Friday. I'm looking to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Do you mind helping me?
Yeah.
Asking and attracting.
Mm.
Third, very pragmatic, but super important. And I know we have Alex and Maddie on here as my producers listening. They're practicing this. It sounds easy. Be a student of your calendar. When I
Mm.
say student, studying something means what you pay attention to and what you give intention to creates the coincidences in your life, the mathematical occurrence of two things coinciding exactly as you want. Attention plus intention to what you have planned,
Yeah.
attention to plus intention of what you don't have planned, and sleep. Sleep's the number one habit that we share, 8 hours a day. Most people ignore it. Study your sleep. Be better at it. It's the only time that we don't have to worry about clearing the corrosion and interference from our conscious. Allow your subconscious and unconscious to draw from what already exists.
Yeah.
4, really simple. Do it now. 100% of things that you do now get done. The difference between people that make money and don't make money, people who make money get stuff done.
Yeah.
Get it done. If you can't get it done, put it in your calendar, prioritize it by what's important, and study it for the next day.
Yeah.
Finally, biggest thing and long lifetime practice of mine, practicing ending fear. Right? I practice being aware, number one, of when I'm in ego-based consciousness. I'm a ferocious Buddha. People, if you don't understand that, I am ferocious about one, being aware of when I'm in ego-based consciousness, 2, stopping.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
I'm a Buddha because after I stop, I drop down into neutrality. I drop into my highest frequency and I breathe like a Buddha through my nose, out through my mouth, get clarity, and then I roll in the right direction. When your mind, body, and soul's on fire with ego-based consciousness, stop, drop, and roll. Be a ferocious Buddha. If you practice those 5 things, your values, asking and attracting, student a calendar, do it now, and practicing ending fear, I promise you, you will find happiness by making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Amazing. I love it. I love it. So profit in, profit out. I love it. And profitability can look like so many things. You're just golden out there. I love that. And on this call, I learned so much and I've become so much, and I'm just sitting up straighter and happier and so full of my own life as well. And so excited to get out there and help even more people. So I so appreciate you. That was amazing. So anyone watching, just stick that in your pocket, pull them out whenever you need them.
I
Amazing.
appreciate you, Alana. Thank you so much for the opportunity to
Thank you.
have my mission come true. So thank you.
Thank you for having mine. I appreciate you. I'm so happy to be on this journey together.
You're
So
awesome.
thank you again, David. Thank you everyone for being here for yourself, for showing up for yourself. You had many things you could have done, but you were right here for yourself. The other thing I will say is be there for others. Share this out. We want to reach people who maybe are in that country that don't think they have the opportunity or are doubting and are sitting in front of the computer and don't feel like they have community or someone to be there for them. We want to reach them and we want to reach everybody. So share it out. Be that selfless leader. As David's talking, you're really you're not in this world alone. So share it out. Love, light, give it out. Be that leader who shows up for others and for yourself. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, David, again. I appreciate you so much. And I look forward to more time with you, showing up on Fridays, and watch the other speakers. They're as magical. This is a great tribe. Thank you again so much for being here. Bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.